They say history never repeats itself, but sometimes it leaves behind little breadcrumbs. And if you're clever enough, you follow them. It had been 17 days since the robbery at the London Crest Bank, the one no one noticed until it was already over. There were no broken locks, no tripped alarms, just a single note on the manager's desk the next morning. With utmost gratitude, James. Elegant, charming, daring, classic James. The vault had been emptied of unregistered funds, black money, and while the bank couldn't admit what was stolen, the shame still lingered in whispers. But then, it happened again. Not a bank this time, but a company. Pendrake Industries, global tech player, silent titan in the world of patents, defense contracts and private research. A theft had occurred, not of money, but of information. Files, documents, contracts, all of it gone. And once again, a note. To Pendrake and Partners, thank you for one wonderful hospitality. I found the documents most enlightening. Yours, James. Eren Cross received 2 letters that morning. One was from the company, a formal request for his services. They offered him a fortune to investigate quietly off the record. No press, no police. The second letter was James's, and that was all the invitation Eren needed. He agreed, but under one condition, that his companions, Clara and Arthur, would work the case with him. Pendrake hesitated, but eventually he nodded, and so it began. Clara was the first to move. She had already developed a sweet reputation of her own, mostly for demolishing a box of cream buns before noon. As always, she was mid-bite when she said, "Same thief, same style, but a different kind of prize." She licked the cream off her finger, eyes sharp behind her glasses. He's not after money anymore. He wants knowledge. Arthur, meanwhile, had entered Pendrake HQ pretending to be a lamp inspector. No one questioned it. He carried an actual lamp everywhere. When asked why, he simply said, "This lamp reminds me of my career. It gets turned off whenever it tries to shine." No one quite knew what he meant, but somehow he always ended up with the intel no one else could gather. Back in Eren's temporary office, they pinned their findings to a corkboard. No forced entry, no security breach, no one noticed anything. Until it was too late. Sound familiar? Just like the bank. But one detail stood out. A minor schedule change in the cleaning staff. A rotation switch that allowed one unfamiliar name into the building that night. Elliot! A known associate of James. Eren connected the dots like a surgeon, precise, silent, and with no wasted motion. Elliot was a master of subtle movement, never caught, always watching. The second figure was harder to place. A woman, silent, precise, known in certain circles as Sable, a ghost in heels. Eren leaned back in his chair, arms crossed. They weren't after Pendrake's money, he said. They were after leverage. Secrets? Clara asked, reaching for her 7th cream bun. Eren nodded. Yes, and James doesn't just steal, he chooses. Every theft has a purpose. Arthur looked over. So, what's his next move? Eren stood, reached for his coat, and replied, "He wants me to follow. This isn't a robbery, it's an invitation." That evening, they sat at a quiet cafe across from Pendrake Tower. Rain tapped gently on the glass. Clara sipped her coffee, finally pausing from her bun assault. Arthur adjusted his lamp like a baby in a cradle, and Eren just watched. Across the street, under a flickering street lamp, stood a familiar figure in a top hat and coat. James. He didn't run, he didn't hide. He simply tipped his hat and vanished into the fog. Eren smiled quietly. "We know where he's going," he said. "Where?" Clara asked. Eren looked at her, then Arthur. "To the place where secrets go to hide." He tossed a few coins onto the table and stood up. "We leave tonight?" Arthur grabbed his lamp. Adventure, Eren smirked. "Investigation." And with that, the 3 of them stepped out into the rain. No anger, no vengeance, just the thrill of the game. Because for Eren and James, this was never personal. It was professional. 2 gentlemen bound by brilliance, forever caught in a dance of challenge and wit. And this case was far from over.